What's up, everyone? It is your girl Gel Beauty 87 here, aka Grace, and today we're gonna get into another of my top 10 palettes from. So this episode is none other than girl Huda Beauty. So I got 10 Huda Beauty palettes in here now. The majority of them are the little mini ones, believe it or not. The Obsessions palette, because I have more of those from her than I have big ones. But I feel like a lot of her big ones are quite repetitive, and it's like, you not Pat McGrath, well, I'm gonna keep buying these repetitive color stories 50 times over. So I got a whole bunch of little babies to show you, and only like 2 actual full-size palettes. So I'm gonna save the 2 full-size palettes to last. I feel like if you know me, you should know what they are, but you know, if you don't, you'll find out at the end. So without further ado, let's get to it. So I did the oldest Obsessions that I have in my collection. I still like to the newest Obsessions that I have in my collection. I feel like the newest Obsessions, again, you shouldn't be surprised by, because you know, if you're not new to this channel, then you know what my color aesthetic is. But let's get into it. So I started off with the Amethyst Obsessions. Are we surprised? I mean, it's a purple palette, and if you've been here before, you know I love blue, green, and purple. Now I'm pretty sure you can't get this one anymore. You might be able to find it on like Cult Beauty, or like find it randomly I don't know, Beauty Bay or something maybe. Wait, no, Beauty Bay doesn't sell Huda. I don't know where else you can find it, but I think I bought this on Sephora when they, oh god, when they had it for 50% off. So that's how I got mine. I got it to go with the little pastel palette that they have, because obviously the shades in there weren't light enough. I mean, were too light for me, and they're more like lid shades, but I still wanted a deep outer V shade to go with those light shades. So that's how I ended up getting this palette. And I must say the quality on it is really nice, because I remember not liking the green, the emerald one, because that was the one I originally bought, and I wasn't a fan of it. So I'm glad I like this one better than I like that one, because that one truly disappointed me. And I love blue, greens, and purples, but I didn't buy the blue one because it had a weird yellow shade in it, and I just wasn't feeling, I was still diving my toes in the Huda, so I didn't go ahead and pick it up. And I'm fine with it. Y'all know me. If I love blue. Blue was my original favorite eyeshadow color of all the colors. So I have plenty of blue palettes. So that wasn't that big a deal. I was fine. I'm still fine. Next I have the controversial Huda Beauty Neons palette. Now if you already know, she had a whole lawsuit about these, because you're supposed to peel like this label here, and that's how you find out that this says these aren't safe for the eyes. And it's like, who the hell's going underneath all that and doing all that just to find out that I'm not supposed to put this on my eyeballs, after you marketed it as an eyeshadow palette and said nothing but put this all over your eyeballs. But I still love the color story of this. Now this isn't one I use that often. It's because, as y'all can see, this is more of a warm tone situation. But I was picking my 10 favorites from the brand, and this is one of my favorites. It's just one of my favorites that I don't reach for that often. So the ones I leave here at my grandmother's house, I don't reach for that often. But I like to have Huda here to reference, and these and some of them here are still my favorites. It's just I need things to reference. So this is one of those. I like it. It's good for reference, but I don't, you know, like, I don't love it. It's not something I use that often. So I like, not love it. Number 3, another neon palette. Now this is one I truly loved. Out of all 3 of them, this was my favorite, and then I like the green one, the one second, and then the orange one I showed you last. This is the Neon Pinks. I mean, this is definitely my type of color story. I love the color story on this. However, the BH Cosmetics with a cotton candy palette, to me, looks really similar to this. And it, from what I remember, I don't remember it staining my eyes and doing all the stuff that they claim this one did, because some girl bought this one and it showed her eyes were stained. I didn't have my eyes stained to the extent that other people did, and then went away on me. So I was fine with this palette, and I actually used it a few times. I still like the shimmers in here, still reach for it, but out of all 3 of these, this was my favorite color story of them. So next, believe it or not, I do have the Nude Rich palette. I heard people raving about the formula on this quad, and if you know me, then you know I'm not into neutrals or nudes like that. But the difference between Huda and everybody else's nudes is Huda's like me. She likes more berry tone mauve nudes. So I can get down with Huda's nudes, because I know Huda's nudes are gonna be like my type of nudes. Like, look at this. This is a nice rich berry tone palette. It's not the traditional golds and browns and, you know, like those orangey rushes type shades people like to put in neutral palettes. Like, Huda was like, no, we're gonna do berries, and we'll give you a nice little like eggplantish chocolate brown here in the corner. So that's why I could get down with Huda's nude palette. So I was feeling this one. I actually have used it a few times. I actually have the Naughty Nude as well, but I got that at 40% off. Like, that was one I just refused to buy at regular price, because it's like I had already caught this one on sale, I think, for like 50% off, and that's how it ended up in my collection. Plus, since people kept raving about the formula, I wanted to try it. So next I have all of the Wild Obsessions palettes. I actually really like this collection the best out of all of her mini palettes. I feel like this one and the Nude Witch are the best ones she has. So I have them stacked in the order of which I like them the best. So we're gonna start off like that. So this is the Wild Chameleon. This is what it looks like on the inside. If you can't tell, this looks really similar to the Love Fest she came out with recently, the $29 one that came out with the perfume from Kylie, the Burning Cherry. I feel like this is a little more fun version of that. Like this is bright purple, because I feel like if you take out the bright purple and a couple of the bright shimmers, it's like pretty much the same palette. I actually put it in a what was it, 5 brands that duped themselves because it looked so similar in my personal opinion. So I still like this one better though over that one, because that one just seems like a more muted version of this palette, and I'm like, we didn't really need that. But for review purposes and because I review the brand a lot, I went ahead and got it. But it's not my favorite. It's not bad, it's just when you already have this, you don't need both. That's just my personal opinion. But I'll try to remember to link the video up above of 5 brands that duped themselves, or just the video of the Wild Cherry video so you can see these. I have other palettes from Huda Beauty that look really similar to other palettes as well, so I'll try to remember to link those videos as well. But I really like the quality of this one, even though it's just warm tone palette with like a pop of purple. When you look at it, what is that? Just warm tone, boring palette, and she added a pop of purple to make it exciting. But you know, I'm fine with that when it comes to this, because at least it's my favorite tone when it comes to the pop. When it's my favorite tone when it comes to the pop, and the mattes and the shimmers work pretty nice, I let it slide a little bit easier. So that's how that one got to slide. Next, I got the Python. You would think the Python would go first based upon the color story, but she messed it up by putting a brown matte in here. It's like, girl, why did you put a brown matte in here? You should gave me a different color matte. She could have gave us like a really deep navy blue, or like, you know, a well, we don't need any more green, so it's like she could have gave us something else. But I guess this will be like the neutral row, and then you're supposed to use these as your crease shades, and then you have to use that as an outer V shade because you don't have any other choices. So I wish, this is a palette that I feel like it's incomplete, it should be redesigned, so I might put this aside for those videos. See, I always find videos inside videos while I'm doing videos. How many times did I say videos? But yeah, I'm definitely gonna put this in a different video. But I really like this one. I kind of want to pair this one with the what do you call it, with the Chameleon, and see what kind of look we can come up with. But I'm trying to see if I kind of want to use one of the bigger ones, but I'm like, at the same time, I really like both of these, so we might end up putting both of these together. We'll see how I'm feeling at the end of the video after showing y'all all these. But these are definitely contenders for us to do the eye look in this video for. Next, I have the Wild Jaguar. This is just a cool tone, like smoky eye lover's dream. I compared this to the original smoky palette from Huda Beauty with the original Obsessions palette she had. I did a whole video, did a eye look comparing this one to the other one, so I'll try to remember to link the video up above too. So I feel like she repeated herself with this one. It's just she gave us more purple tones instead. I even swatched them to where some of the shades were similar, even though they didn't look similar in the pan. They look similar when you swatch them out, and they look similar on the eye. So I mean, the form on this obviously is updated and better, but I mean, I feel like it was really similar to that, so I was kind of just like, hey, did we really need both of these? I feel like we didn't. But at the same time, I kind of want to pair this with one of the other bigger palettes I'm going to show you. So again, this is a contender for us. So the last one I have to talk about when it comes to Obsessions is the Tiger. Now, they originally didn't launch this at Sephora, and we were all trying to figure out why. But of course, when the new year came, it was the year of the Tiger, so that explains why they didn't launch this one there at that time, because they had the year of the Tiger contract going. But this is what it looks like on the inside. A lot of people said this looked like the Huda Beauty Gold palette, the holiday palette she had came out with in the UK exclusively, or Europe exclusively, I remember, for like Cold Beauty and some other places. And then I thought it looked like the Toffee palette, so I did a video comparing this to the Toffee palette. It turned out not to be the same, but this is my least favorite of all of them. But I really like the shimmers in here. Like this shimmer right here has unique pink, green, and gold flakes in it. That makes it look unique and fun. And it has this trophy wife-esque shade. And so I felt like it looked okay, and it was nice enough to put in here, because I do still use it occasionally compared to all my other Huda Beauty palettes. But I just was kind of like, this is my least favorite, which of course is why it's at the bottom, and it's my least favorite, if you know me, like I just said, because I don't really like neutrals. So these are the type of neutrals I like. So the Huda Beauty New News, the big palette, this was the other, this is the first big Huda Beauty palette I bought. Now I know mine looks brand new, that's because it is. I bought a new one because my original one was so old that it's actually still over here in the corner in the room I'm gonna give it to my cousins, but I bought it originally like when it first dropped, and so when they had the 40% off sale, I bought the Naughty Nude, and I rebought this one because this is literally one of my favorite neutral palettes to grab. When I think of a neutral palette, I usually go for this one. I'll go for the new Rich, or I'll go for Pat McGrath's Divine Rose, the original, or the Divine Rose 2 Artistry palette. These are the type of shades that I consider as like neutral. So I had to get a fresh one while it was on sale, and this started my Huda Beauty obsession when it came to her big palettes and buying her palettes in general. Okay, so the last palette I have to talk about is her holiday palette from last year, 2021. This is the Rose Quartz. And first when I looked at this, I was like, it looks kind of ashy. It looks like it's not going to necessarily work for people my skin tone, but I was wrong, and I'm so glad I went ahead and grabbed it. I think I grabbed it during the Sephora sale, because it came out before the Sephora sale, but I ended up grabbing it during the Sephora sale. That's literally the only reason I grabbed it. But you see what I'm saying about how I feel like it would go really nicely with the Jaguar one, because the Jaguar has some of the deeper shades, and it'll be like a cute extension on. So I'm thinking we're gonna pair both of these together, because I'm trying to give y'all a variety of looks, and I want to use a bigger palette and a smaller palette. So if I use 2 smaller palettes, you won't get it to see if there's a difference in the formula of these versus the smaller one. So we're gonna go ahead and use both of these and combine these together. And actually, I do a favorite palette combinations video, so I have bonus content now for it, so check me out over here. So if you all want me to do a video with both of these side by side, you can let me know, and I can go ahead and do that another time. But I'm just going to stick with these 2 for today. So let me zoom you in real quick and cute. Like, I'm gonna go off camera, get my life in order, try to figure out what we're gonna do with this eye situation, because I definitely want to use the black in here so we can see how pigmented the black is in this video. And then I gotta figure out what mauve tones I feel like will go best with this. I definitely feel like we should use this purple right here for sure, because I feel like it goes stunningly over these black. But anyway, I'm gonna go get my life in order, do an eye look for y'all real quick, and then come back and we'll do it together so we can see how the quality is on these palettes. Okay, girl? Okay, be right back. Okay, y'all, so since I came up with the 2 Huda Beauty palettes, so I have the Rose Quartz palette and the Wild Obsessions Jaguar palette on. I got this little line on. We'll talk about that in a minute. I used the Diypansy Jade eyeliner pencil, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, this one right here. I did a video on this comparing it to the Kaleidos ones when the Kaleidos ones came out, because y'all know how thorough I try to be when stuff pop up and comes on. I'm trying to be on it and find a dupe to my collection if I have it immediately, so you can see it immediately and make your purchasing decisions based on that. So if you're interested in the pencil that I have up here, you can watch the video comparing it to a more affordable one. I know Team the Fancy Face did one on them as well. If you want to watch a video that's just dedicated to those 2 items, you can definitely go check out Tina's video as well. We all out here in the beauty community trying to come together and save y'all some coins, because we realize, you know, us trying to push all this new stuff down your throat is cute, but it's like, you know, if you're just trying to, you know, get by and live, we probably shouldn't be trying to push that stuff down there. So, you know, we all of us out here trying to give you alternatives now, and I'm loving to see it. I'm loving to see it. Anyway, so the shades I took from here are literally just this row down the middle. I literally took the middle row in this palette and used it on my eyes, and then I kind of jumped around the Rose Quartz palette. So I have these like 3 shades right here on my eye, along with that other purple shade. It's really glittery from the other palette. Then I have these 2 shades right here from this palette on the eyes as well. So I tried to put like 2 or 3 different shades on the eyes. So let's get to it. So I originally started off just with this shade and then the taupe shade that's in the Jaguar palette. And then I decided I wanted more of a lavender feel to it. So I added the lavender on later on. So I'm going to start off the way I originally did, which is that grayish taupe shade from the Wild Jaguar, and then this one. I was originally going to have like a shimmery brow bone in this one, because when I did the Pat McGrath one, if you all remember, I had a shimmery brow bone there. But I decided against it. I was like, you know, let's do that every once in a while. I just save y'all some graphic detailing with this eye look instead. One of my friends at work was telling me about, she likes it when I do the graphic liner instead. So I was like, I'll try the graphic liner today. And I feel like it actually turned out pretty well, because it has a nice greenish, bluish, purple shift to it because of the jade eyeliner I chose. So I'm really feeling it. So shout out to you, Ryan girl, okay? Even though something I did every once in a while, but I was like, you know, I'll do it today just because I felt like I wanted to add a little extra pop to this look and be extra and give y'all some wannabe euphoria vibe. So now I'm just taking that lavender shade I pointed to and adding on to get more of a purple effect than a gray one, because it's like I like this blurple thing. Now I guess it's blurple or grayish purple thing I got going on. I'm here for it. It's a vibe. I tried to focus it more towards like the back of the brow bone right here though, so it'd be more lavenderish there. But I wanted just overall the top of this to be like lavenderish with like the taupey-ish gray shade there. So I was like, let's do it. I'm trying to film in my free time. I actually had the day off work today and I'm supposed to have it off tomorrow. So I'm like, if I do, I might be able to catch up on my eye looks this week. So over the weekend, I'm not always rushing, overwhelming myself and having to come back constantly. Although I feel like I'm going to have to come back this weekend because I'm hoping my Lethal Cosmetics finally shows up. Okay, so now I'm going to dip into the black shades. So what I did was I dipped the black shade right here. And then I went over top of it with this deep eggplantish purple gray shade on the outer V to get the shade we have on the outer V. So I'm going to start off with the black. I didn't take too much, so y'all know, you have to build up black or else it'll go south real quick. So we start off with a little bit. And the good thing is, like, since I didn't pick that much up on the brush and this one isn't that pigmented, I don't have to worry about it, being crazy. Like, if I had picked up a black shade from Mented Cosmetics, I had to fear for my life and, like, try to not put too much on and blend, like, to the high heavens and pray that, my eye look wasn't ruined and I had to start all over again after I put all that, got the transition color in the crease, but I wanted to because the black was so black, so I don't have to worry about that, which is good because it's nice to have good and pigmented intense black, but like if you're a beginner it's probably not the best. And I feel like it's good to have blacks like this sometimes just so you don't get overwhelmed. Okay, now we're going to dip into the purple shade to give more of the color I want. It's like the eggplant one. I just wanted an intense outer V to start off with, and I was like, we can build the purple one to build it up and get it more of where I want it to be, which is what we're doing now. So, yay. Y'all, I'm dreading filming my best eyeshadow palettes of 2022 video. I always dread filming those videos because they're like always the longest to take. And then like once I get done finally filming it, then I know I have to drag all that stuff home, and then I'll be like, no, God, why? No. Just taking this clean brush that I used in another video, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't use this one, I used another one to do this. And then I'm gonna take the brush that we used to put our crease shade and all that, dust underneath here, and kind of like just even out the top. So, there's that. Here we go. So now I'm going to take some glitter glue and cut the crease for all of this so we can begin with all the shimmers, because I used a lot of shimmers throughout this palette, but I feel like it gave it the exact effect I was looking for, so I was happy and excited about that. Yeah, it sounds like it's raining pretty bad outside. I think it's like 12 o'clock now, if not later than 12:30. I'm trying to leave here at 1 a.m. Adriangameover has late start for school, so I can still get a full 8 hours worth of sleep, because I can just go home and like relax. Okay, I'm gonna start with the darkest purple in the Rose Quartz palette, because I mainly put it over this part right here. I just wanted the darkness to peek through out here, and the rest of the shimmer being on the outer V is fine. I just wanted to make sure that the wing part had enough, shimmer to it. So I usually bring light to right here about the middle of the eye, and then we're gonna go into that really reflective glittery purple shade from the Jaguar palette, and then we'll dip back into this palette for this like inner corner shifting shade I have here. I'm really feeling this eye, it's like somewhat simple, but because it's purple light, and I'll allow it. And that's why I'm gonna do the purple smoky eyes, because I'm like, it's something that's simple and easy that people might find more, find easier to wear out in public, but at the same time still colorful for me, because y'all know I'm not for the, everyday eyeshadow looks. But I feel like this is a nice compromise for somebody like me, and for an everyday makeup consumer who's not going to be wearing the stuff I'm going to be wearing, but still wants to like play with color. I feel like purple is like a good color to do it with, and I want to do like a simple monochromatic thing that would be easy for you to do without, make you feel overwhelmed, feel like you have to do a whole bunch of stuff. And you don't have to do the extra line in like I did if you want to be simple, but y'all know me, I'm extra, so even when I'm trying to do something that's supposed to be somewhat simple, I gotta be extra, because I'm just extra. I can't help myself. Leave me alone. So I'm just going back on top of it with whatever purple shimmer was left over from the other one. Take the brush we used with all the purple, grayish taupe shades and just dust over here and then creasing around the area again. Okay. So our inner corner shade is this one right here. So we're gonna go into that real quick. And now we're gonna go into the Jade pencil from Diypansy. So what I did was, I literally just followed the line where I had the shimmer and just drew up. So that's what we're gonna do. Follow this here. Follow the line where I cut the crease and just draw above it. And just try to take it toward like the back there. And just stop about right there. Where the brown one is, I'll use stop about right here. So as you can see, got that extra dramatic effect now. Without doing too much, I put the black Bridgerton pencil from Pat McGrath my waterline, because I knew I was going to be doing a couple of smoky looks, and you know I prefer to have a smoky waterline. I normally might have done like a purple one instead, but you know this black one actually turned out working out just fine. So here's our finished look. Back on up now, girl. Now do you see why I love these two palettes? And they're one of my they're two of my top 10s from Huda Beauty. I feel like this one especially because it has these purple reflective looks, and I feel like you could get just about this same look using just this palette. It would just be this purple sparkly shade all over the lid, and you could put this purple toward the back, put this purple in your inner corner. You can still make the same look even with just this palette if you don't want to have this one. I just wanted to use this one because I know plenty of people like it, and it's one of my favorites from her as well as far as the bigger palettes go. And since it's on the newer end, but it's starting to get to where it goes 30% off and stuff like that, I figured it'd be good to show it off in this video. So if you're interested, when you catch it for 30% off or you catch it on a sale and you didn't try it out yet, then you know you'd see the value in it. So I wanted to show that all the mini palettes aren't bad, which is why I picked the mini alongside the ones that everybody knows and loves and respects and talks about, which is a big one. So I hope you enjoyed this eye look. I hope you all enjoyed this video. Remember, you all are diamonds, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Be blessed, girl. Bye.